iDriveSoCal is brought to you by the very best auto retailers from across Southern California. When it's time for you to buy or even just kick the tires on the idea of buying, just go to iDriveSoCal.com and click on dealers. iDriveSoCal.com, click on dealers, and get connected. Now, on with the podcast.
So this event, it's called the McLaren Forward Sports Series Tour. And the sports series is for the 570S. And they're really promoting the Spider. So all three of the vehicles on display were Spiders. They had a green, a black, and a white one. I was the very first one there, so I got to pick which one I wanted to drive. He let me drive it pretty much as fast as I wanted. Pretty high speed, so I'll just say that.
Welcome to iDriveSoCal, the podcast all about mobility from the automotive capital of these fine United States of America, Southern California. Tom Smith here, and joining me is our good buddy, pal, chum, amigo, compadre, comrade, Clinton Quan, the professor. Say hello, Clinton.
Hi, Tom.
Crowd goes wild. Today's podcast is the professor's McLaren Experience. How did you get hooked up with this one, by the way?
A friend of mine invited me to the event.
All right.
So I signed up.
So
as soon as he sent me the invitation.
So Professor is the professor, and he's a contributor for iDriveSoCal because he's got automotive in his veins, and he gets invited to all the craziest stuff. Sometimes he gets in and gets special treatment by way of iDriveSoCal, but the truth is he gets special treatment for all kinds of automotive things just because I don't really know why. Just because he's like been, you know what? You're almost like you're almost like the guy or gal that over the years like cut their way into line to like the most exclusive clubs for so long that they just started thinking like, well, you're supposed to be here, right? Yeah, come on in. Yeah. And it's like, dude, what do you do? You're driving a $300,000 car around LA for fun. I mean, you got to, if you're not
about 200,000.
Okay, whatever. If you're not listening to this podcast on iDriveSoCal.com and looking at the pictures on this podcast post, you have to do yourself a favor and check it out because the professor got invited to this thing, and there's like literally 4 brand new, gorgeous McLarens parked in front of the Metropolis Hotel.
Metropolis downtown. Oh, it's not a hotel. It's next to the Indigo Hotel.
Okay.
These are condominiums.
Okay. So $1 million worth of exotic supercars parked right in front of each other.
Yes.
And
there were 3 of them.
Okay. And there's there's blue, black, white, and green. That's 4.
No, it was green, black, and white. There was no blue.
Oh, okay. Caught my eye different in the sun or whatever.
Yes.
Whatever. So the McLaren event you got yourself invited to, and I'm pretty sure that we're safe to just, give McLaren all kinds of love because I'm not quite sure that, we're going to get any McLaren dealer partners for iDriveSoCal podcast. Maybe. That would be fun. Do you know how much you and me and Bernadette would have to fight to see who gets to go on those test drives? It'd be like, no, I'm going. No. I would just trump you guys. Be like, no, I'm going. It's my podcast. I'm going to go talk about myself.
Well, I've driven the McLaren twice already.
Yeah, well, I've never driven it. So at any rate, you get invited to this thing by way of your buddy. You go, just tell us about the day. Brief intro on how you got invited, because I'm sure other people would love to take notes and try to elbow their way into some of the same clubs that you've gotten yourself into over the years. And
well, the first time I ever got to drive a McLaren, I was at the Greystone Mansion Concours d'Elegance, and McLaren is one of the sponsors for the event.
Uh-huh.
So I was talking to the gentleman there for McLaren, and he
said, "Yeah, we're probably going to sell you 5 or
Well,
6 in your lifetime. So why don't you? Here's the keys.
He
have
noticed
fun.
I was very interested in the vehicle, so he asked me if I wanted to attend the event, and there was basically 30 people that got to attend this event, and I got to drive the McLaren out in Calabasas.
But
on
who's
the highway.
not interested in the vehicle?
Well, I think they're looking for people who actually know the car.
Yeah, I know. He appreciated your rap, your game, and he's like, all right, yeah, this guy knows his stuff. He's drooled over this one long enough. I guess we'll give him
Someone
the
who
keys.
seems a little more serious.
Yeah. But I mean, geez, if you're a manufacturer's rep or you're a salesperson for a $200,000+ car, I think you're pretty discriminating about who you invite to get behind the wheel.
Yes, I would think so.
So anyway, keep on listening. If you want to get invited to these things like the professor does, just keep on listening to the iDriveSoCal podcast and take notes. I'm sure.
Go to more events.
Over time, the professor will slip enough little hints out, and you yourself may be getting invited to McLaren events. I sure am not, but
McLaren or Aston Martin or Ferrari.
Yeah,
That's how I've gotten invited
right. Not
to drive all these various sports cars.
Not to drop names at all. Oh, excuse me. Let me pick that name up, dust it off a little bit. Did you hear what I said? Should I say it again?
So this event, it's called the McLaren Forward Sports Series Tour. And the
Okay.
Sports Series is for the 570S.
Okay.
And they're really promoting the Spider. So all 3 of the vehicles on display were Spiders. They, as you mentioned earlier, they had a green, a black, and a white one. And I was the very first one there, so I got to pick which one I
Shocker.
wanted to drive.
You were
and
the
there
first one
and
there.
there was no designated route, and they told me I could take any route I wanted. So
Like
obviously,
someone in the Midwest staking out Walmart that's giving away, dollar. First person in line gets the 65-inch big screen for $5. Professor's in line 3 weeks early.
well, no,
Camping out.
there's a registered time slot.
But
So
yeah, I'm sure
I
you
got the first time slot.
were,
I registered online.
okay, of course you were. Of course. Sorry to interrupt. I just you were early. Really, that's surprising. Not at all. Sorry. Continue.
Yeah, I got to drive the 570S Spider on the Arroyo Seco Parkway from downtown LA to Pasadena. And for those of you who don't know, that's LA's first freeway.
Really, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, that's the freeway connecting downtown to LA's first suburb, Pasadena.
So,
That's the freeway that's very, very narrow and windy, 3 lanes.
oh shoot, you know what? I think I was on that today.
I think you would remember.
Maybe I wasn't. Okay. So here's my thing, though. Exotic supercar means super tight suspension, means super low to the ground, means me personally, if I ever am blessed, lucky, gracious enough to drive one, much less own one, LA County is probably never going to be a place that I drive it, just because the roads are not that good.
I was so impressed with how well this car handles and the
I'm not saying
smoothness of the
I'm not
ride.
saying the car.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying the car at all.
Yeah.
I'm saying our roads in Los Angeles County are so bad, so potholey, so
That's true.
under maintained that I wouldn't take a vehicle of that stature. I had a 4-door, well, it's duplicitous. I had a sports sedan that I wound up getting rid of because I felt like I was driving a log wagon every day. Now, that was my daily driver, and obviously this isn't a daily driver, but all I'm saying is if I'm driving a McLaren, I want to do it on, like, I don't know, OC roads, because they're just better roads. They're just smoother roads.
That's true.
I'm not saying anything about the car. I'm sure the car drove awesome, but
Yeah.
at any rate, so
Well, the point I was trying
The
to
drive
make was
took
that
place where it
even
took
though you could feel there's so many bumps on the road and
Yep.
it's not a smooth road, it was incredible how smooth the ride was in this car.
Sure.
At really high speeds. And I'm not going to say how fast it went, but
Why? Did you have somebody with you, or were you solo?
oh no, there's someone with me.
Okay.
But
Well, then why can't, if someone's with you, they know how fast you went, so why don't you just say it?
she let me drive it pretty much as fast as I wanted.
You said you hit triple digits, didn't you? Just say whatever, dude.
Pretty high speeds. We'll just say that.
Come on, I'm going to start doing some podcasts with LAPD. Well, I'll make sure to tell them that you did over 100 on, is it Arroyo Seco Highway?
Parkway.
All right.
Arroyo Seco Parkway.
The professor did that. That's okay. Professor's got a fuzz buster, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't even know that those things still worked with all the technology out there, but I guess they do. And it's an Escort. The old fuzz buster Escort.
Yes.
You got a
Escort
CB
radar.
too?
No, I do not.
Breaker 19 for a Smokey report, good buddy.
No.
No,
No.
Smokey and the Bandit kind of
No.
thing.
No.
We could get CBs for iDriveSoCal. That could be our first live broadcast instead of a podcast. We can do it on CBs. All right, that would be whatever. I can't stop interrupting you on this one. So, what is the rest of the day look like? You got there early,
Yes.
and then what?
They had a reception on one of the upper floors of the Metropolis, and they gave a tour of a couple of the units. They provided breakfast as well, and got to take a number of photos with all the vehicles. Yeah, it was a really fun morning with the McLaren 570S. They also had a cocktail reception in the evening. However, I didn't attend the evening event.
Okay, but back up. You got there early.
Yes.
Right. They had breakfast. The cars are on display right in front of the Metropolis condominium
Right in
complex
yes.
next to the Who Hotel.
Next to the Indigo Hotel.
Indigo Hotel.
Yes.
Is this on Wilshire? Where is this?
This is near. This is just a little bit north of LA Live.
Okay. So you get there and you're one of how many people that are going to show up for this thing?
For this event, I don't know.
Oh, because it was timed and you just show up for your time slot.
Yeah, I mean there is a limit to the number of people because you only have 3 cars, and
right.
if each person is spending 30, 45 minutes.
Okay, so you got there, you had some food, you got to go for a drive, but you had a chaperone with you.
Yeah,
the chaperone,
but you get to
go
pick,
nuts.
You get to pick the route.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So
So
did
that's
they just give you a time, like did you have to tell them what route you wanted previous? Did they like say, hey,
I told
A,
them
B, C, or D
well,
routes, or
no, you drive wherever you want to go. There is a time slot.
Okay.
But you go where you want to go. I talked to someone else who drove on the 10.
Okay. So you what'd they say? Come back in 20 minutes, or come back in what? How does it work?
Well, he's with you, so he'll say, okay, it's probably time we turn around now.
Okay.
Yeah. So I took it all the way up
Once
to
you got to Paso, or
once I got to Pasadena, and then I turned around.
I was joking. I said Paso, like Paso Robles, Templeton.
Oh, well.
You said Pasadena.
I wouldn't mind driving to
I'm
Paso
sure
Robles.
you would. I wouldn't either.
I wouldn't mind spending the whole day with the car.
So, all right. So, all in, you were driving for how long?
Oh, it was probably a good half an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. I mean, if you were to go rent one of those things, a half an hour costs you
Well, yeah.
$800, $1,000, because you can't do it for a half an hour, right?
Yeah.
You can only rent. You'd have to rent it for like a half a day or something. That's probably going to be $1,000. Right?
Yes.
So beautiful thing. All right. Well,
Yeah.
that's one of the benefits of being the professor.
It's quite an experience driving a McLaren 570S.
And then you did not stick around. Yeah. I mean, do we need to talk around? So what'd you think of the inside of the car? What'd you think of the outside of the car? It was awesome. It was perfect. It was awesome. It was perfect. It was fast. It was awesome. It was perfect. Thank you very much. Top 3. It was awesome. It was perfect. It was fast.
Well, the interior is very basic. There's nothing luxurious
I know.
about it.
I know.
But
Well,
this
it's a
is
race car.
It's a race car for the streets. Essentially, that's what it is. Or a track car for the streets.
It's a race car with brake lights and turn signals.
It's all about performance.
It is a gorgeous car.
Yes.
Again, if you haven't checked out the pictures, you have to do so because they're just that special.
And in terms of the exterior design, I would say it's my favorite McLaren, more so than the 720.
Okay. I don't know my McLarens that well. Do they? How many?
This is the entry level McLaren.
Okay. And what does their model lineup look like year in, year out? Does it fluctuate? Is it always so many
They
models?
always they come out with special editions as well. They have a new one called the 600 LT, so that's a little step up above the 570S. But this is called their Sports Series. So this is what is their entry level McLaren would pretty much be the top of the line sports car for most manufacturers, such as the Porsche 911 Turbo, right?
Yeah.
Unless you go up to the Porsche 918.
Right. But it's McLaren. They make how many cars a year?
Yeah. Yeah. So
But McLaren is exotic supercar specific manufacturer. How many models do they have, say 2018, 2019?
pretty much look, it would be
2,
three.
3?
You got the 570, the 720, and then the P1.
Okay. And the 570 is what you drove.
Yes.
Starting price is $190.
It's about 190,000 starting price.
Okay. And then you got to buy seats, steering wheel, and add the tires.
Depends
too.
on how much carbon fiber you want, I guess, in the interior.
But so $190
Yeah.
starting price, and you can probably go up to what on that car? Add an extra 100,000 in accessories. Who knows?
I don't know
Or
that much,
features?
but I would think maybe another 50,000,
50, okay.
60,000, I'm guessing.
And then the next one up that they offer is what?
The 720,
The 720, what's
which
that
has
price?
710 horsepower. That one, I believe that one's around 300,000, I believe.
And then what is yours? The P1 you said, or P2?
The P1, that's their hypercar. That's like a very exclusive limited vehicle. That's in a whole nother
How much?
level. Probably, it's got to be over $1 million, I'm guessing. Yeah.
Shazam!
What? Once you're at that price level,
It just doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Why even ask? If you have to ask, you can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But I
okay.
love the way the 570 looks. I think it's a beautiful looking, exotic sports car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sound.
Oh, love the sound. Love the sound of this car. Yeah, it's got a 3.8 liter V6 twin turbo, 562 horsepower. 562 horsepower.
3.8 V6 twin turbo. 500 and
62 horsepower.
what torque?
443 pound-feet of torque.
Gosh, and the weight of that car's got to be nothing, right?
Oh, it's very
I mean,
lightweight.
as far as the power to weight ratio.
Yeah.
I mean,
And that's why it's so fast, 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds. And what's amazing is that the Spider, McLaren says that it only weighs about 100 more pounds than the hardtop. And that's really remarkable because it's got a motor. It's a retractable hardtop.
huh.
And for it to only weigh 100 pounds more is pretty amazing.
Well, it's probably mostly the motor that
Yeah.
that extra 100 pounds is.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of the tops.
Yep.
Nothing.
That's correct.
So this car's rear wheel drive or all?
This is rear-wheel drive.
Silly question. Why don't they drift these cars? Nah. You're not even going to respond. You're stupid, Tom. All right. Anything else to add, Professor?
Incredible experience. So if you have the chance, take advantage of it.
If you have the chance to drive a $200,000 exotic supercar, the professor suggests you go ahead and give it a whirl. Thanks, Clinton. For iDriveSoCal, I'm Tom Smith. Thank you for listening. Hey there. Still wanting more iDriveSoCal content? Just go to iDriveSoCal.com. From there, you can subscribe to our podcast and newsletter. And you can connect with one of our awesome car dealer partners to get yourself a sweet new high-tech wonder on wheels. And oh yeah, we always want to hear from you. So please connect with us on Facebook and Twitter. Or if you're not a big social media-ite, you can email us suggestions for stories, people, places, or events you think we should cover. Here's the address: media@iDriveSoCal.com. That's media, MEDIA, at the letter I, Drive, DRIVE, SoCal, SoCal.com. Media at iDriveSoCal.com. Thanks again for listening, and definitely reach out with whatever's on your mind.